What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Behind the Struggle podcast. I'm your boy CEO, the host doing the most. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it dope. I know it's been a minute since you've seen us, but don't worry, it's Christmas. We're back, and I'm joined with Alexia.
Welcome back. Talking to me, myself. How you guys doing?
Yeah, you guys can't see this. She has a mirror in front of her, though, so she's literally just talking to her.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Alexia. Don't forget to follow me on the gram at Alexia_Lou. And of course, my TikTok, before it gets banned, follow me at Asexia.
You already know what the deal is. You can find me at The Real CEO on IG. But yeah, so today, that's actually what we're talking about, Alexia. We're talking about this whole thing that's kind of got the internet and some people in a frenzy. I'm not sure if you've heard about it, the TikTok ban that's going around, that's actually going on right now.
I'm still on TikTok, and it's kind of confusing what's going on with that exactly.
Yeah, so I have some stuff here from the internet's doing my Googles. Google, we're not sponsored, but please sponsor us. About what exactly this bill is that passed, because a lot of people seem to feel some ways about this, and I'm curious to get your take because you're much more active on TikTok than I am. I mean, you actually have like a small little fan base and following. Like, you have enough followers to go live. I do not have that capability. I just don't post on TikTok. I go there to support friends, and that's really it.
Well, they keep changing the rules, so don't, like to the listeners now, don't think that I'm like on TikTok and I know every in and out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on it like that. But
She's being humble, y'all. She's being humble.
I do have quite a few followers, but I don't get a lot of views. I don't get a lot of likes, so I don't know what's going on over there. But I'm hearing that the ban passed. I'm hearing that it didn't. I'm hearing that the president says as soon as it goes to his desk, he's going to sign it. So it's not signed yet, and I'm just confused.
Yeah. All right. So this is kind of what I had. This is some of the information that I have, hopefully, because it brings some clarity to this, and I'm curious to get your take. So the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill that will force TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, to sell a large portion of its company to the U.S. if it wants to continue operating in the United States. The bill still has to pass the Senate, which will probably kill the bill right there and then. But if the Senate doesn't, there are basically two possibilities that can happen. TikTok has up to 6 months to sell part of its company to become partially American, or it gets banned in the U.S. So what that means is if you already... Yeah, so if you already have TikTok, like the app installed, and you're an active user, you can continue to use it, but going forward, TikTok will no longer be available on all app stores, so you won't be able to get it. So that means there will be no patch updates. If you don't already have the app, you won't be able to get it.
Oh, so if you already have it, you can keep it.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I remember a couple years ago, TikTok had literally come out, like outside, and was like, yeah, if you have our app, basically, your data belongs to China. And if you want to continue using the app, you agree to those terms. And everyone was like, what the? And they still did it. Still did it. So it wasn't that crazy. And now with this bill passing, I'm hearing or seeing that, Facebook and Instagram are obviously what, Meta?
Yeah.
That's not like a Gen Z term. Like, that's the company I'm talking about, Meta. And that's owned by America. So it's like they have all of your information or whatever it is. But they don't want TikTok to have it because that's China having our information and our data. And it's crazy because TikTok, I told you, came out a couple years ago and said, yes, we have all of... Just having the app on your phone, we can go into your phone and basically like look up whatever's in your phone, whatever we want.
Oh, that was actually something they outwardly said on the app?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So Facebook and Instagram never said that, but they be doing that because you be talking about pillows and then all of a sudden your Explore page is lit up with pillows for sale.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, so it's interesting because basically the bill is in response to the fears that TikTok's owners, ByteDance, could share user data such as browsing history, location, biometric identifiers, and with China's authoritarian government, which would allow them basically to spy on America. So in response, TikTok sent push notifications urging users to call their representatives. Here's what the actual notification said. It said Congress is planning to ban is planning a total ban of TikTok. Speak up now before your government strips 170 million Americans of their constitutional right to free expression. Now,
Wait, I did not get that update or notification.
yeah, that they sent that notification to everybody supposedly. Now, what I think is actually really funny, um, is because for me it's like, what better way to dispel the notion that China is covertly influencing American politics than by overtly influencing American politics?
The crazy part about that too is, again, like, TikTok and China weren't like hiding this. They came out and literally said, "We have all your data if you have the app on your phone." And then they came out and had literally said, in China, the videos that go viral are ones of like science and little kids engineering and then like education.
Yeah.
And the videos that go viral in America are literally like 14-year-old girls in bathing suits dancing. Like, that was, I don't know if that was like on purpose, because everyone's like, oh, that's just what Americans want to see. Like, is it though? Like, yeah, okay, yes. But also, if China was pushing that agenda, that's not really that surprising to me, that they're like, oh, children education over here is what's trending. That's what's viral. But in America, it's just whack off to pedophilia. Like,
Damn, that was quite the description you laid out of America.
I mean, I told you, like, I've traveled outside of the country a lot. Not like crazy, but like a lot. And everyone else thinks that Americans are like literal mindless sheep. And they don't mean that necessarily like, you're an idiot. They literally mean like Americans are just followers and they're pretty uneducated and they're just plain right ignorant. And that's how the rest of the world looks at us. But we Americans are like, hell no, there's no way they could think that of us. Like, we're the stronghold. We're the number one country. We're the biggest trader, whatever the hell you want to say. But so Americans are not willing to like see that inconvenient truth. But literally the rest of the world like laughs at us. Like, that's not even a joke. So for TikTok to be like pushing, the devil's agenda, and we're like gobbling that shit up, pause, and then being like,
Jesus.
oh no, that's just what's going viral because that's what people want to see. Like, why do you want to see that? What is wrong with you? Meanwhile, the rest of the world wants to see education and learning and, information. And now, with Facebook included, Facebook, TikTok, and whatever, even the news, we're all getting media from like all these different sources, and they're all saying the same thing, or they're saying completely different things, and they're being hidden from us. So you don't know what news is fake and what's real. But then when you get on TikTok and you get, let's say, a real news story, the news in America, like Channel 5 or whatever your news is on, they're saying that TikTok is lying. TikTok, meanwhile, is literally showing you video footage of where they're talking about, and they're like, this is what's really going on. Let's say, for example, I don't know, Ukraine, right? And then the news or media in America is like, no, Ukraine is, we're dealing right now with the Amazon animation of the devil coming out. Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're pushing that. Meanwhile, like, TikTok is like, no, I'm in Ukraine, look. And then that will get shadow banned. It will get removed. So you really don't know what's real or what's fake anymore. Back to, like, the joke when all the boomers were, like, reading and believing everything they saw on Facebook. Now that's, like, everyone. Because it's like, what is real?
Yeah, it's actually funny you said that. Really quick tangent. I was hanging on my dad and his girlfriend the other day, and it was obvious to me it was an AI image manipulated of Jennifer Lopez with like huge breast, and like her ass was like even bigger, and my dad's girlfriend believed that was actually her. She goes, oh my god, she goes, Jennifer Lopez, look what she did to herself. She's like so different. And I looked at it and I was like, Tess, that's not real. That's an AI generated image. She's like, but look, it looks real. I'm like, that's not her. Trust me, that's not her.
Yeah, but you see, with that technology, it's fooling the older generation, but now it's becoming so good and well versed that it's starting to fool our generation, and it's only a matter of time before it starts to fool the one below us. Because as you guys know, if you follow me, I've been like learning German. I found a video of Rihanna speaking in German, and it looked inside of legit. I sent it to you,
Yeah,
and I was
I
like,
remember.
"What the fuck?" And I was like, "This bitch, like, no." I was like, "This bitch is like speaking fluently in German, and I'm out here struggling to learn it, bro." That was obviously fake and AI, but it was so real. Even like the voice and the pronunciation, I was like annoyed that I even fell for it. But I was like, "What was the point of that? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Made me
Yeah.
mad for no reason." But the point is that technology is there.
Oh yeah, and it's only going to continue to get better. I mean, we've already seen it improve leaps and bounds. Now, to your point about somebody's accounts being shadow banned and kind of hiding certain news and global affairs, that's actually another one of the fears people are saying, because another point is people are saying that this is the government's way of controlling information Americans receive, just like they do on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah,
On
they've been saying that since
yeah,
the invention of the TV, because it's television, tell-a-vision, tell something that's fake. Like now we're
yeah,
going into conspiracy theory territory.
yeah, exactly. And we've all seen that clip. You know, listeners, if you haven't, you can find it on YouTube. It's real easy, where you literally see every news anchor and every news channel reading the
Saying the
same script,
same thing.
same exact thing,
Yeah.
yep, to the same beat. And
So now it's like conspiracy theories are all actually real. So it's whatever is the opposite of a conspiracy theory. That's what you have to question. Nowadays, conspiracy
damn.
theories are like 100% like legit.
Yeah, you know, I mean, on IG, there's a pretty big account on there. He's not there anymore because he literally got banned. His name is Sean King, and he's basically an activist. And he was posting a lot about what was going on in Israel with Palestine. And IG literally just took his account down. Like, he's been gone. And he's not like a small dude. He's a pretty big activist. Like, he does a lot of big things for the community and for America and getting rights and bills passed. But
That's wild.
yeah, so with that happening, going back to TikTok again, you know, people are basically saying that that's the same thing. The government's way of controlling the information Americans receive, where you don't see any information about the war in Israel or Ukraine or the migrant situation on IG or Facebook. It's just another way that will allow the government to keep U.S. citizens in the dark about certain subjects, and that the news will not cover.
Exactly. So how can you be mad that everyone's like you're ignorant? Like that is what we are. And ignorant is not necessarily like full blown like synonym for idiot. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Ignorant literally just means that you don't really know
Yeah.
something. And that's where America is, and that's the government literally is like, yeah, you don't need to know too much about
Yeah,
that.
we don't need you questioning certain things and why we're sending our troops over here or why this is going on. Just focus on
Yeah.
what's going on
We'd rather
over
you
here.
guys fight over who's wearing a mask and who's not rather than like the state of the world.
Yeah, or oh, Kim Kardashian just leaked another sex tape. Like, they'd rather us focusing on that instead of what's going on around the world.
Yeah, there's so many things.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying that that's why the U.S. government is going after TikTok, because unlike Meta, Facebook, and IG, these are all owned by the United States, where TikTok is owned not owned by the United States, it's outside. So the information that we get is unfiltered in a sense, that they are
Right.
able to give us the information that these other platforms won't give us. So now the U.S. wants to ban TikTok or have a big
Of course.
ownership
They
of
just
it
want
to
more
control it.
control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that sort of goes along to I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but like with the
It's okay.
control factor,
You
it's
see
the
how she said
same
control,
thing.
y'all? She wants to go there. Just go, just go.
I'm going. I'm already on the way.
Yeah, she got her rollerblades on, y'all. She's already down halfway down the block.
Downhill, bro. It's a downhill. Um how the devil would say that to sort of destroy like mankind, you have to attack the children.
Hmm.
Because the men are strong or smart or grown and they're harder to sort of influence. So you attack the children, and all you got to do is wait 2, maybe 3 generations, and the world belongs to you. You know what I'm saying? Like tell the kids like it's okay to be a woman, even though it's a little boy. You know what I mean? It's okay to change your gender. Let's take away masculinity, like, or label it toxic. You know what I'm saying? Just get rid of all the men that are able to overthrow the government, all the men that are able to, resist the devil. Get rid of those men, and all you have are weak men, and you're left with this crumbling society where the devil, it's kind of like not even a domino effect. It's like a house of cards. You just flick the one little card on the side, not even at the bottom, bro, not even at the bottom of the pile. You can flick it on the middle and the whole shit will come down.
Wow. That was quite the illustration you laid out.
But that's what's happening, if
It's
you haven't
true.
noticed. And I'm not saying like I'm necessarily like gay people are evil. No. What I'm saying is, there's always this argument why are there like way more gay people or trans than there were 2 decades ago?
Yeah,
And the
people have
argument
more
is,
identity issues.
yeah, but the argument is they're like, well, they were scared to come out because they didn't know what was going to happen to them, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, I can take that into consideration, but also take into consideration that children who don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, that it's even possible to be something that they're not born into, they're now getting fed these ideas that it's possible or it's okay to be a different gender, which kind of blows my mind. Because, like, if you literally, because there are so many cases and so many gray areas, fine, that you're like, oh, I was born, let's say, a woman, but I feel like I'm actually a man. Okay. But if you're 4 years old and you're being told by Disney, by your mom, by the government, by school, that, like, you're supposed to actually be a girl, little boy, like, don't you understand? Like, there's scholarship opportunities for you. If you become a girl and you go on the swim team, you're top 3. You know what I'm saying? Just because of your biology. And little things like that, or not that that's how they speak. I don't really know, but
Yeah.
telling the little kids to be a different gender, taking away, like, their identity in a sense. So, unfortunately, I hate this, but I think that, like, right now, the devil is winning. And not that the TikTok ban is like the devil winning either. I'm just saying, like, it all goes into the same bowl. This big melting pot. This melting pot that used to symbolize, like, diversity and equality and go America. Now everyone's trying to get out of America, except, sorry, for the illegals that are coming here for free and raping and killing American citizens and having nothing. No repercussions
At all.
No penalties, nothing.
Yep.
But again, that's not like TikTok is bringing them here. The American government is. So the point is, the American government wants to get rid of TikTok. Meanwhile, look at all the other shit they're doing to you. And it's kind of like, hold on, like, if you're doing all these horrible things to me, and then you're like, I'm getting rid of TikTok for you. It's kind of like, well, now I want it because it looks like it's the opposite of what you think is good for me, which is even crazier because we should be feeling safe in our own country. We should be feeling protected. We should be feeling XYZ, ABC, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, 100%. But I also think it's a lot of fear-mongering, too. I mean, they want to portray it as if they're protecting the United States citizens. But also, I remember when 9/11 happened and George Bush was in office and they passed a bill in order to allow the U.S. government to tap your phone calls to listen to because out of the fear, and Americans willingly went along with it. So now
exactly
it's the same
that,
thing.
along with the heightened TSA regulations where you can't bring a bottle of water or a fucking Pop-Tart on an airplane. Like, excuse me for wanting to eat a horrible snack, but anyway.
What?
That
Pop-Tarts are the
on top
shit.
of. Yeah, but Pop-Tarts are banned in TSA. You literally can't bring that into the X-ray machine.
I know. I'm just caught up on this.
They'll arrest you.
You called it a piece of shit snack. Like, I mean, put some respect on the Pop-Tart. Continue, though.
Well, anyway, so that again, and like you said about tapping the phones, Americans were like, yes, please tap my phone so that I feel safer. Then they were like, ooh, I like this. COVID happened. Now everyone's stuck in their homes, have to wear masks. They can't do anything without someone's permission. And they're like, yes, keep me safe. And the government's like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What next? Now there's rumors of the whole internet shutting down. And it's kind of like, well, what is this bullshit about the solar eclipse on April 8th and the National Guard's going to be out? For what? Like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. The solar eclipse is going to turn us into apocalyptic zombies, or they're protecting us from an alien invasion? Like, what are you talking about? So it's really like anything the government does at this point, including banning TikTok, is sus. Because, like, it's not that I love TikTok and I hope that it stays. I honestly don't give a shit if social media completely crashes. I would actually prefer that.
You
But
guys heard it here
the fact
first.
that but the fact that the American government is like, this is bad for you, honey. I just want to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I get you. It's almost like, don't try to fool me into a fake sense of security that you're looking out for my best interest. Because
yeah, like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, also, we have so many other worse things going on right now. in
that we
America.
don't even know about.
Yeah, well, even the stuff that we do know about, once again, the migrant situation, the inflation, and people being in debt and being no one even being able to buy a fucking house. The homeless crisis that's going on, it continues to grow. Like we have all these other issues
Yeah, how
going
like you need
on.
to make 120,000 minimum to be considered lower middle class. Like
Not even,
that's
not even that.
wild.
That's just to get by. One hundred twenty
Yeah,
thousand just to get by. Not you're not even middle class. Like you have to be making $1 million.
lower middle class. That's what I'm saying. That's wild.
Yeah, and so there are bigger issues that we need to focus on, but they're just like, nah, TikTok, because we got to protect U.S.
But
citizens
that's
from
what I'm
Chinese
saying.
spies.
They're like, guys, focus on this. Don't you want to watch little girls dancing? Don't you want to go viral with some stupid video of a broom? Like, they were like, focus on TikTok. Look at TikTok. Look at TikTok. Meanwhile, we're like, ooh, TikTok. And they're behind our heads, just like raping and murdering children
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
hotels.
Yep.
Like,
Because it was even said, since you're bringing that up, we're gonna go down this rabbit hole. That IG and Facebook and WhatsApp, which is owned by Facebook, were actually the largest apps used for sex trafficking and trafficking like children across the world in order to be used. Like pimped out, and it's like. So you're telling us that like TikTok is bad, and look, I'm not sitting here like a defender of TikTok. Like I really don't care. I never
right.
really use TikTok. I barely post, whatever. But I definitely think you have to question some things. It's like, what is the government really not telling us? Because at the end of the day,
Exactly.
I think of that Alan Moore quote from Watchmen. Who watches the Watchmen? So it's the same thing as like, who's going to protect us from the people who are supposed to protect us?
Exactly. And since you brought that up, speaking about
Oh, here
protecting
we go.
ourselves,
Here we
right?
go, y'all. Here we go.
Did you guys know, like seriously, and I'm not don't quote me because I'm not like a professional or expert at this, but the Second Amendment is obviously the right to bear arms, okay? But the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms in order to stage an uprising against the government if they're being oppressive. It's not exactly like, oh, you have a right to own a gun, protect your property, shoot the first person who takes a step on the, your property line. No, it's the right to own guns to overthrow the government
Yeah.
if they're being, if they're doing too much, which they are. So why do you think they're like, oh, we got to take away your guns for your safety because there's school shootings and this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, again, you're probably telling the kids like it's okay to learn how to have a gun. There's lots of states that have, loose gun laws. There's lots of X, Y, and Z for having like guns around the house. And then if you guys shoot each other, or we can like put it against an ethnicity and the cops, or the cops versus a cop, or blah, blah, blah. Then instead of overthrowing the government, you guys are pissed about guns existing at all within your community.
I mean, look, I'm going to join. I'm going to hop right in that rabbit hole. Because you see a lot of people talking about all these school shootings and shootings that are happening, whether it be on the train or at the schools, and they're saying, what's going to take for a bill to pass in order to ban these guns or have stricter laws? And just put on my tinfoil hat here, would it surprise you that if the government is actually allowing these shootings to happen as much as they are in order to get Americans to a point where they're so scared that they will allow
That they
the
agree to
government
have their
to
guns
pass
taken
a
away.
law
Yep.
to have their guns taken away?
Right. It's
You
all
know.
like almost a test, and it sucks because again, like we're supposed to be like feel safe. Our government is here for us. Like
It's
they
supposed to
wouldn't.
be that,
Supposed
but
to be. They
we've
wouldn't
seen
exist
many
if we weren't
instances
here.
where it's not. I mean, that's why you see a lot of the things where people get upset at the police, right? Because the police are supposed to be for the people in the community. They're literally paid by taxpayer dollars. But you see so many things of police corruption, racism, how the systemic system,
Abuse of power, of course.
how the system is orchestrated to work against you. Like when a cop asks you a question, they will literally use anything you say against you. They even say it to you. That's why your
Yeah.
best thing is to say nothing and to be like, I just want a lawyer. Just say I want a lawyer. Literally say nothing. Because they will
Yeah.
take anything you say and twist it against you to kind of make a traffic stop turn into, oh, smells like marijuana here. Oh, you have this, and okay, now I gotta lock you up.
Yep.
And it's sad, right? Because the government and the police are supposed to be for the people, but it's like they're actively against us.
Yeah. And not even against us, but like I've said this several times, so I'll say it on here since it's going to be on the internet forever. But like you can't win unless there's a loser. So the government is keeping us under control. They're keeping us scared because if we all just like moved out of America or all died from nuclear war, there would be nobody beneath them. So they wouldn't be winning anymore. They're only winning because we are losing.
That's
So
true.
they want to keep us there. They're not going to ever like help us succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like no more, yeah, like you said, our generation and the one after, ain't no buying houses for us. Ain't no, getting loans unless you have an immaculate credit score at 17 years experience at the age of 5. Like there's literally no way. So we have to lose in order for them to win, and that's what they want. The problem is, unfortunately, most Americans, and I think the statistic, not my words, the statistic is literally like 80% of a normal like American normal human are literally either too ignorant or too scared to do anything. So of the 20% that might be willing to, let's say, not even overthrow the government, but like demand more equality or something like fairness, that 20%, good luck banding them together because America is huge. The entire state of Pennsylvania has more landmass than the entire country of Greece. So like where are these 20%? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you guys at? Come to my YouTube channel, comment on this below. Like, seriously, where are you at? We need to, like, and okay, I'm probably going to get canceled for this. Please don't. I'm just speaking. But, like, it's sort of like, how are we going to organize a coup if 20% of Americans are willing and we don't know where they are and they could be all different age ranges and, they could be surrounded by other people that are just weak and scared as well.
Well, I actually want to piggyback off what you're saying since you brought that up. Because, it's like the old strategy, divide and conquer. And going back to what you were saying as far as, like, doing this confusion and even blurring the lines of these genders and how people identify, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious that they want to keep people subdued and weak. So they're going to continue to put out this propaganda and
that's obvious to us, but it's not
and
obvious to 80% of Americans.
true, but that's why I want to bring it up. It's obvious to me, but it's like they're doing that to muddy the pot. And Alexia, you and I have talked about this before, and you guys let us know if you want us to do a podcast episode that expands upon this subject. But there's an old saying that says, "Strong men create peacetime, and peacetimes create weak men, and weak men create hard times, and then hard times make strong men." And I feel like right now we are in the era of
and
weak
we
men.
are at the bottom of the graph. Correct.
Exactly. Yeah, we're at the era of weak men where people identify as women or dogs or whatever, to the point where, like,
and I don't dogs.
I'm serious.
And I don't
Teachers
get
can't
into
even
this.
say anything about that. If a kid now goes to school and says I identify as a cat, and the teacher's like, okay, Esmeralda, what's 2 + 2? And she's like, meow. The teacher can't even say anything. They can't.
Did you also hear about the mom that took her kid to a vet and was like, I'm not gonna sue the doctor for not seeing my child because he identifies as a cat. I'm not gonna sue him because he's gonna lose his license. But we need to bring awareness to this. It's like the awareness needs to be with you, honey.
Yep.
You, because identify as what? Man, cat, dog, woman. You know what I'm saying? Biology is biology. So it's not that the cells in your body are like, it's a cat, but like, how is he supposed to treat your, like, imagine you took some dog medicine. I hope that kid be eating dog food then, if he identifies as a dog. Don't you come in here saying you want some Hot Pockets and some cup of noodles. Like,
Definitely
you
not.
need some dog food, like Blue Buffalo at its finest.
You better enjoy that pedigree, boy. You better enjoy that.
Facts.
Get on the floor, put a bowl of water right next to it. Yep, nigga, here we go. Time to eat. No,
that's so messed up. But it's kind of like, is it though? Because, like, again, the rest of the world is looking at us and they're laughing. Like, I have firsthand experience of this.
Yeah. No, it's definitely true. They're laughing at us, and there's a lot of sheep going on right now. So that's one of the reasons why people are so riled up about what's going on, for like a multitude of other reasons. But switching gears back, going back to the main topic that we're speaking of, you also have people who are basically saying that, the banning of TikTok, if this does go through, would affect a lot of small businesses that use TikTok to operate. also influencers who use TikTok to make a living through sponsorships
Now that
as
might
well
be
as going
true.
live.
But in my opinion, that's a very weak argument only because the way that influencers make it big or remain big anymore is completely different than how it was 5 years ago. So, you know how
Please
like
elaborate.
even like rappers, let's say, even that they could do one thing and it doesn't even have to be like they put a lot of effort into it. It will literally go viral for the dumbest reasons. All that does is they collect like 200,000 followers, and now from then on, anything that they do, whether they lose or gain a bunch of new followers from that, they have 200,000. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's kind of how it worked. And then it was like influencers now, same thing, like travel blogs or foodies or, you know, like Instagram models, quote unquote, or just whatever, like whatever you're doing. You just have to get that one thing, that one post to blow up, and then the rest of it is almost history. But now that's not only is that not happening anymore, like any new influencers, but the influencers that are there, they have to keep up appearances. They have to post maybe once a week, video once a day, more than once a day, stories, reels, all this shit, using like all of their time. It's like more than a full-time job to stay relevant on these sites. And then if they don't, they are losing a following because Instagram had even had I think an article where they were like, we're getting rid of all these like not fake accounts, but like all the accounts that have been inactive for some time. So people were losing followers left and right, including myself,
Hmm.
just for people that weren't active on the app, which I guess makes sense. But then if you didn't catch that wave already, you're the chances of you catching it now are really slim. So for example, now like Mr. Beast, everyone knows who that is, and he's an
Yeah.
awesome individual. I actually like I praise him. I think he's great at what he does. But even
Damn,
him,
that's quite the choice of words. Continue.
his content, you know, which he's in every video, but he pushes out content all the time and he's always doing something and it's usually big and he's very generous and blah, blah, blah. But you see how that dynamic is very different from when he started, right? So, like, for him to stay as big as he is, which I mean, it's almost inevitable, he's not going to lose millions of subscribers overnight. But for him to keep the content rolling, he's using a different approach. So my point is, any new influencer or new person that's trying to get famous, you can't use the old method from 5 years ago that Mr. Beast used to make it big, and you can't copy Mr. Beast anymore. So it's actually harder for people on the internet to become X, Y, and Z. So when you were saying that businesses use TikTok and maybe other, you know, media platforms to promote, that's very true, but that can't be your main source of income because it's not necessarily TikTok. Instagram also took away the monetization feature. So TikTok and Instagram aren't paying you anymore to post and get views and get likes and all that stuff. But even if you were to use that platform to bring people into your space, it's still almost unless it's an online store, a proximity thing. So it doesn't really matter. So I understand, like, you think that you're getting a lot of business because of TikTok and Instagram and Facebook or whatever. And that could be partially true, but I don't think it's true enough to where you're like, oh, my whole thing is completely collapsed if I don't have a social media. And if that is true for you, then you didn't market correctly from the beginning.
Well, this has been a public service announcement by Alexia, y'all.
I was like, are you good? Hello.
No, I mean, I agree with that, though. I mean, if that was like your bread and butter and you were just gunning all out just for TikTok to market your brand or whatever you were selling, like, you should have diversified. You should have had a website already, like, other things going. Because at the end of the day,
Exactly.
you want ownership. And at the end of the day, you're just someone who uses this app, as a tool. You don't own it. So at any day, these apps could shut down for whatever reason. So you always got to have like a backup plan. And no,
Yeah.
I agree with you. Even now, how it is, like with these influencers, even with the music industry, now how things operate is like there's no artist development anymore. And the same thing with like these influencers. These are people who haven't really been developed. They just had a video that blew up and then they pushed them to the forefront to push some kind of agenda. But these people are not properly prepared. And now these companies are like, we're only going to work with you and mess with you if you have like a following of like 50,000 plus, and if you don't
Exactly.
already
So same
have
thing
that,
with being 5 years old, having a credit score of 3,000 and 17 years experience at the age of 5. Exactly. So if you
yeah,
don't already have that following, it's going to be very hard for you to build that. And now it's even harder to buy those followers because, like I said, they're getting rid of all the fake accounts.
yeah,
Also, I
I
don't know
mean,
if you know this.
well, before you say that, that's why also for me, like I'm seeing a really big thing going on in the music industry where a lot of artists are going independent and just like finding other ways to get their music to consumers. I mean, that's something I've been silently strategically planning because to me it's just at a point. It's like if I'm already coming at you with a fan base of like 5 to 10,000 people, I'm already creating the music. I already know how to market it. I know how to contact my fan base. It's like, why am I then going to put somebody in the middle to filter my money out when I could just get rid of you and just go direct to consumer? You know, because I'm already wearing all these hats. So what is the point of me signing a deal? Like, what more can you offer me?
Yeah, because why share that money at that point?
Exactly.
But I don't know if you heard recently also TikTok had announced that they actually took down a lot of like big artists' music or like audios
Oh
off their
yeah,
app.
yep. I heard about that.
So
Yeah.
it was everyone was like, "Oh, now my TikToks are less, viral because I can't use that song and blah blah blah." But then a lot of people were actually like, "This is giving smaller artists a chance to like showcase themselves." So we're getting rid of Usher and Beyonce and Drake or whatever off the platform so that we can have or get experienced. Wow, not experienced. Why can't I think of this word?
Take
Sorry, I
your
have to
time.
edit this out. God.
I'm gonna put the Jeopardy sound here.
No, what's the word I'm looking for? When it like, oh, to get exposed to new artists on TikTok.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I think it was Universal Music Group. They pulled all their music from them because they couldn't reach a deal with TikTok in order to pay the right royalties to the record labels that own these songs. The artists weren't really seeing any residuals off of that at all. It was more about the record labels being more greedy and wanting a bigger cut of a bigger slice of the pie, you know. So that's all it was. So they decided to pull that stuff from TikTok, but they tried to disguise it. It's like, oh, see, we're looking out for the artists. It's like, no, you weren't. But yeah, I mean, that is something that is going on now, and it does give smaller artists an easier chance to be exposed to newer audiences who probably weren't
Right.
listening
But
to
then if
them.
TikTok gets banned, then it doesn't matter. And like we were just saying, like if that's where all of your promotion went, then it's kind of like, well, then it falls apart. And then you kind of, I don't want to say don't deserve it, but it's like if that was your only way to try to like get exposure, then, you know, think of more ways.
I mean,
Because you have to attack more than one avenue. I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, and you see this a lot now. Like a lot of people don't even want to go to college or learn. They just want to find the right piece of content that they could make to go viral, try and make the money, and be out. You know, where
Just
that's
like
not
those cryptocurrency boys,
exactly.
they
You
were like,
know,
"Oh, I'm just gonna buy some crypto like Doge, and then get rich, become a millionaire, and then disappear." It's like, no, like
yeah, exactly, exactly. You
if
know,
that
and it's
did work for
like,
someone that you know, congratulations. But like, again, there are 8 billion people in this planet. Do you really think that like 8 billion people are like, yeah, or even let's say just 1 billion is gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna make it rich off of crypto? Like, where's that money coming from, and where's it going? Like, stop, please stop.
yeah, it's not sustainable. You know, and I think you're a lot better learning the skills that it takes to actually convey your product and build communication with your consumers and the people who actually mess with your brand. So if your bread and butter is just one source, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Like you shouldn't be doing that, putting all your
Right.
eggs in one basket basically. But yeah,
So I guess the bottom line is, if TikTok gets banned, kind of like who cares, but also what is the government really up to with that? And if it doesn't, you see the other thing I'm worried about? I don't mean to go on another tangent. I'm gonna stop, but
it's okay.
it's March, April right now, right? March, April. So if anything changes in the White House, that's gonna be what? Not even November, like after November, right?
Yeah.
If that's a lot of time, right? In between for like more shit to happen before anything unhappens, if that makes sense. If that's what's going to happen. Do you get it?
Somewhat, somewhat.
So it's kind of like scary. I don't feel like we should be like literally on the edge of our seats, like at the whim of a select 13 people in the White House. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Well, as Nancy Pelosi would say, yeah, I'm gonna play this clip for y'all.
I have a few points to make. First of all, This is not a ban on TikTok. I'm a grandmother of teenagers. I understand the entertainment value, the educational value, the communication value, the business value for some business on this. This is not an attempt to ban TikTok. It's an attempt to make TikTok better. Tic-tac-toe, a winner.
What? That was a stretch. We're making TikTok better. Tic-tac-toe. What? That threw me off like real bad.
These are the people running our government, people.
But now
These are
you
the
see,
people.
she's literally like, I'm not trying to ban TikTok. I'm just trying to control it.
We're trying to make it better.
Yeah, the only
Yep.
way it's better is if I control it.
I don't like the way you said that.
That's just what it sounds like to me.
But yeah, y'all let us know what you think in the comments of this video. We're gonna be posting on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's also gonna be on the YouTube channel, so you guys can check it out there. But yeah, we're curious to hear what you guys take. Do you guys care about TikTok being banned? Are you furious? Are you gonna call your government as TikTok sent that notification to tell your representatives that you're not happy about this? Are you someone that makes your living off of TikTok? Let us know in the comments below how you feel about that. Alexia, are you gonna be sad? I know, like TikTok, you love that place. Your fans are all over there.
Whoa. I do not love that place. Okay. I
Make it
just
sound like it's a little shopper on the corner.
yeah. I fall victim sometimes too to like people being like, "Hey, where are you? Miss you online." Horrible. Yes, okay. So, but bottom line is, as I said in the middle of the podcast, if you didn't miss it, I hope you didn't. I don't give a shit if all social media just like crashes. Matter of fact, I sort of hope it does. Not the internet, social media. I think we've strayed way too far from Jesus, and we need help getting back, and that would involve getting rid of social media because that is making us all compare ourselves to unrealistic things, including AI accounts. It's making us less social. It's making us insecure. It's making us unsociable. Not even less social, unsociable. And it's making us fake people. Everyone is completely depressed. Everyone's alone. I think that relationships, whether it be romantic or friendships, are literally crumbling because social media is like, oh, if you don't like the one thing someone says to you, you can just go find someone else that agrees with you because you can. But then as soon as that person says one thing that disagrees with you, you can go find someone else and someone else and someone else because you can. So I think that like we need to go back to like
it's illusion of options.
yeah, like writing letters and snail mail. Let's go back to that, you guys. Then maybe you'll like actually have some values and take actual value in like relationships and partners and things in your life other than I guess money, pussy, weed.
Yeah, no. I mean, you're 100% right. I mean, it creates this illusion of options that there's always going to be something better out there. I mean, you see it in the dating world where because of social media or these dating apps, when someone doesn't like anybody, you can just ghost them. Same thing that happened with friendships. And it's like, sometimes you have to be willing to have uncomfortable conversations, whether that be with friends, people you're romantically involved with, someone that you thought you had a good time with but didn't. And it's like, because that builds character and growth. And if you're not willing to do that, then your option is always, aren't you going to just turn off the app and just disappear? It's like you're just avoiding your problems. You never.
And I'm also talking about the internet trolls who go online just to talk shit because they would never do that to someone's face. So like, in a sense, again, yeah, I do think that social media maybe should disappear, if even just temporarily or forever, who cares? But not the internet, because obviously, sadly, we rely on it, first of all. And second of all, there's a lot of actual information out there. Maybe some of it's wrong, some of it's whatever. But I guess the point is social media is destroying us mentally. And I don't care if it goes. I really don't.
I mean, it is. It's giving us false dopamine hits of pleasure. It's shortening our attention span. And it's funny.
Completely false, completely short.
Yep. And it's funny because I guess to end it on this, because I was just thinking, like, what would people do, like today's generation do if all social media was gone? Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all that shit was gone. And you ever seen that TikTok video where it's like 3 kids, they're like outside of the house, and it's like they don't know what to do outside. The one, they're just standing in the driveway, and the one is just like touching the leaves of the bush, and it's like they don't know what to do outside.
Yeah,
yeah, it just kind of makes me think of that. It's like,
and tell me
forces
why
people out.
AI generated images are literally like, show me kids playing outside in 20 years, and they're all Apple Vision Pro on their iPads. Like, tell me why that AI is predicting that. Like, that's not funny. That's not cute. Like, I
Well,
mean,
that's like
and
that
I'm
thing
not
I
even,
showed you, that documentary, The Singularity.
right. And I'm not even trying to be like, I grew up in the best decade. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But, like, I played outside. I was riding bikes. I was making dirt castles in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were playing outside. Like, for
Who was
fun, I used to
outside?
jump off the roof. Like, what the heck? Like,
You was jumping roofs? That's crazy.
I know. Crazy. But now everyone's just, like, going crazy that they can't download Floppy Birds no more. And then they're like,
Floppy
You know.
Bird. It's Flappy Bird.
wait, what is it?
You said Floppy Bird's Flappy Bird.
Oh, whatever.
R.I.P. to
Anyway.
the creator. He committed suicide because of that game.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He made the game. It was a really simple game, and it like blew up as these things
Yeah.
do. And people kept downloading it, and then people kept sending requests to him, and he just got overwhelmed. And the rumor I heard was that he committed suicide because of it.
Oh, well, I didn't know that, but that's just another reason why social media is okay to disappear. Bye.
Exactly. It's dangerous, y'all. Y'all have to learn to really use it and see it as a tool and not as your livelihood or
Exactly.
your whole
If you
social
can't do that,
interaction.
you shouldn't be able to have one.
Yeah, I mean, we were just saying this earlier. I know we keep saying we're going to end it, but the conversation can go on forever with this. But we were just saying the other day, just like, now how people communicate, they don't call to ask how somebody's doing. They would just send a reel or a meme through IG in a DM.
Or just check your profile. They don't even say anything or send anything. There's no communication. They just look at your profile, be like, oh, you posted 2 weeks ago. You look good. Okay, bye.
Yeah, or they'll look at your story, hit the heart, send a like, or like a photo, and that's all the interaction they give. And then you're wondering why we have a generation of people who feel so lonely and like secluded. And it's like, you
Yep.
don't even know how to reach out and interact with people. It's like you overthink things and you're like, oh, well, the last interaction I had with this individual was awkward, so I'm just gonna
Yeah, or they left me
leave
on
it that
red. It's
note.
their turn. Like,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm just gonna leave it on that note and just like let it wonder what happened. It's like, bro, just fucking pick up your nuts and fucking call. Like,
Right? What happened when they sent letters in the mail and like a letter got lost and you thought that person never responded to you? Or your mother like caught all of them and kept them from you?
are you speaking from like personal experience?
No, there's hella movies like that. That's why I said that. Like The
Alright.
Notebook.
Yeah, I can't see her expression. Like when she said it, I was like, what's going on? So,
I mean, I don't think she kept any letters from me, but now I'm curious. I'm gonna call her.
damn. Makes me think of Creed 3 too, when he had his best friend writing him letters and his mom never told him because she thought he was
See?
a bad influence. So yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But anyway,
I'm not
now
gonna
we're
lie.
just getting
I would go back to
influenced
letters.
by-
I like letters. I think there's something
yeah.
organic and nice about it. Like you sitting down writing and then you receive it in the mail. It's like 3 days afterwards and you're just reading this. Something nice about it.
Exactly. And then imagine all the kids like 10 years younger than us that can't even read or write in cursive. Like, blah.
Oh my gosh, they can't even write at all. They can barely speak.
That's true. That's it.
All right,
Well,
we're
anyway,
all right. We're aging ourselves by talking like this now. So
I know.
we're
Now
gonna
I'm an
shut up.
old little grandma with my blanket on my lap, ready to close out this podcast. But yeah, so what do you guys think of the ban? Or do you have any information that we neglected to release on this one because maybe it came on after or we just didn't know?
Or
'Cause we're not,
information that
like-
we missed. Like I said, like we're not all up in it. Like that. Pause. So
But yeah, don't forget to comment on our YouTube video, follow us on IG. You can also email us there if you want to talk about this privately. And as Chris said earlier, if there's like another topic you'd like us to expand upon, please let us know because not that I want to, but I could talk about this for hours.
yeah, look, we took a little break at the podcast. We got caught up with other stuff. If you guys don't follow us on our YouTube channel, follow us at Behind the Struggle. We've been uploading a lot of content over there lately. So, sometimes when we're focused on one area, another area gets neglected. So now that things are kind of ramping up or being taken care of over there, we're going to start with the podcast again. But we just wanted to touch on this subject because it's relevant, and everywhere I turn, I just see people talking about it.
Yep. So before it gets banned, or if you are still on TikTok, follow me there at Asexia.
While you still can, y'all. Do it while
Yeah.
you still can. As for me, you can find me in all my links at thisisceo.com. So if you want to follow my YouTube or my IG, just Go to thisisceo.com, and right on the front page, the homepage, you see all the icons to every individual link. And if you want to subscribe and follow us on YouTube, we are Behind the Struggle. That is Behind the Struggle. Follow us on there, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Hope you enjoyed this hot take.
Thank you guys so much for listening to my rant, and praise Jesus. Praise him.
Amen. Peace.